to the cosmic echoes, and it's echoing very much in the cosmos, our beautiful, intelligent cosmos. How are you doing this morning, Sue?
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? I've just been looking at Stephen Burns on YouTube. He's a geologist I really trust, and he works
Yeah.
a lot with Dan Waits, and he's been saying that in his understanding of what's happening with the Schumann resonance,
Mm,
and this sort of there's a massive explosion of energy. I'm
mm,
probably not saying it the way he would say it, but in the Schumann resonance. So there is huge changes happening into the energetic makeup of the planet, and
mhm.
how and also from the solar flares. So
Yeah.
something immense is happening, and he's been saying for quite a while that this is the time of megaquakes. And
Mm.
what happened yesterday? And
Yeah,
the volcano.
that's it.
So we are on course for exactly what he believes is about. It is almost like programmed to happen. So
Yeah.
it's not sudden, oh my gosh, how unexpected. It's, oh,
No.
right, here it is.
Yeah.
So, and we have to, in our very limited understanding of how all of this works, deal with the fallout of this.
That's it. The Earth is earthing, isn't it?
It's earthing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we are in for the ride. This is kind of what we signed up for.
Yeah.
What's the guy that talks about we are souls in monkey suits on a ride through the cosmos
Yeah.
or the universe, and
Yeah.
we are definitely in for a ride. We chose an interesting time.
We, well, I think it's very interesting, isn't it, that Uranus moved into Gemini only on the 8th of July.
Yeah.
So it's not even a month yet. And this is already happening. And
Mm.
all astrologers have been waiting for Uranus to make itself known in Gemini. And it is. And it is.
Well, we spoke about this last time, didn't
We
we?
did, but
Yeah,
it's,
we.
yeah, absolutely. So it's now Uranus is now in Gemini, and we'll settle there. It will move back into Taurus for a little bit at the end of the year, but if everything settles, all the planets settle in the fire and the air signs in 2026, and this is when it is thought that the great changes will take place. We're having tasters at the moment.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
interesting tasters, aren't they?
But and as the Earth is earthing, we are humaning. So
Yeah.
in part of this, it is also us now connecting to our own consciousness.
Mm,
I've been having lots of conversations as always around AI and,
yeah.
is it harvesting some of our consciousness because we're feeding so much into this machine as such. Um, so yeah, we're coming
Yeah.
back to what we've been saying since last year, really, when Pluto moved into Aquarius,
Yeah.
now Uranus moving into Gemini. It's written in the stars or the planets, really, isn't
Well,
it?
it is, especially because Pluto is trine Uranus, and Pluto is digging up. It's digging up. It digs up the unseen, the unconscious, the unexpressed. And Uranus is about revelation. It's about, it's that, it's the first unseen planet. If you look for, Saturn is the boundary, and then there's
Yeah.
Uranus. So a lot of people who have Uranus experiences, they may be quite shocking on some level, can be sudden deaths or sudden loss of
Mm.
job or sudden massive life change, or you meet somebody that changes your life. But
Mm.
yeah, also the really important thing about Uranus is sudden revelations. It's that download. Oh my God, this is what's
Yeah.
happening. And it does feel like we are, the kind of the wool is being pulled from our eyes, where we're suddenly going, oh my God, this is real. It isn't some quirky, weird
Woo.
film,
That's
you
it.
know, that
Yeah.
Hollywood has made, or some very strange person is, oh, I don't know, channeling it or something,
Mm.
whatever that is. It
Yeah.
isn't, it's absolutely, this is reality. And we're
Yeah.
going to have to learn to live with this reality, of a very, very unstable planet geographically,
Mm.
and also a very unstable way that we've constructed life that no longer works.
Yeah, and a lot of that is kind of going back to the mystics, to the ancient wisdom that we have separated ourselves from.
Yes, exactly.
I'm diving into this a little bit with the Wisdom Seekers, the Kabbalion. I don't know if you've read it. Very simple, seven principles, but it's all
Yeah,
stuff that we go back to, there's a mental element to this. We have consciousness. Everything is conscious. Everything
yeah,
is our construction in a way. There's correspondence, there's rhythm, there's vibration, frequencies. The earth has its own frequency, which is the Schumann resonance, but so do we, so do everything around us.
yeah.
So what vibration do we want to tune to?
Yeah,
Is it one of fear? Because that's very easy and it's very, very prominent. If you look at the
very go-to.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or
yeah.
is it one of I am safe because I am more than this physical expression.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
yeah.
Well, I think that's incredibly important too. I really love the whole concept of astrology and alchemy
Mm.
because it really takes us back to the ancient teachings, particularly the ancient teaching that goes back to Hermes Trismegistus.
This is his book.
Yeah,
This is about him. Yeah.
yeah, which is so beautiful. And
Yeah.
I love his concept of the fact, or whoever he was, because we don't know. Um,
Yeah.
um, but the teachings are so beautiful. The fact that we come from a divine whatever,
Yeah.
and we travel through the planetary
Layers.
levels,
Yeah.
picking up whatever imprints that we do, and then we incarnate and go through the four elements.
Hmm.
That's what grounds us, because elements are that's the experience of physical life. I love that.
Exactly.
And then
Exactly.
when I was talking with Felicity Warner, and
Mm.
she's been doing this fantastic research into the dying process and watching how the elements play their role, they
Mm.
exactly match up with how these ancient teachings say we incarnate. So at death, we then disincarnate, leaving behind the physical elements. And she's seen this. It's so
Oh, wow.
exciting. And then, therefore, after we've shed the physical body,
Yeah.
then according to the ancient traditions, we then ascend back up, releasing whatever we need to
Okay.
release to return to the divine. And if we can't, if we're too attached to the world, too attached for life, then obviously we come back and do it again until we get it that we are divine beings, and we've just forgotten.
Well, and that's it. And I wonder in that process we get back to the one, we are
Yes,
part of the one. And
yes,
from there we break away again and have our experiences and bring them back to that oneness, which is something that I think the structure of society has separated us from, because we have to be
Western society,
individualized
yes,
and we have to be, me, and am I making it? And, which is a very yang kind of energy. And even in this Hermes' teachings, or, what we have taken from that, there's that element of gender, the principle of
yeah,
gender, that everything is masculine and feminine, and that we have to embrace, or we don't have to do anything, but it helps us to embrace these
yes, it does.
both sides to things.
That's how the universe works, as
Mm.
the masculine and feminine principle.
That's it.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I think was the trouble with the Western mind. It's so linear. It
Yeah.
wants a story that's set. It, wants a beginning, a
Mm.
middle, and end. And life
Mm.
doesn't work like that, and evolution doesn't work like that. And I think that's the kind of thing that this Uranus moving into Gemini, because Gemini is all about communication,
Mm.
and I just feel like the scales will begin to fall from a lot of people's eyes. And even
Mm.
people who've got their heads buried in the sand going, I don't want to know. I think,
Yeah,
you know, with the earthquakes and the volcanic eruptions, the earth doing it,
yeah.
I think people will just go, oh my God, we're in uncharted territory here.
Yeah, which kind of brings us back in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Going, okay, what makes me safe, or who am I? And talking about who am I, Chiron just went retrograde yesterday
Yeah.
in Aries, which is an interesting one.
It's all, yeah, which, and it is a great time to say, who am I? And kind of to open up that you're much more than just you.
Yeah.
The ego is so, because we've sat on 2000 years of patriarchal teaching, and it's true that we have. And
Yeah.
the patriarch is very, very left brain.
Yeah.
And this is the way it's done. And it
Yeah.
really is about understanding that that's not the most successful people. And I don't call them, the billionaires or
Mm.
that kind of success, but
Yeah.
successful people understand how to merge the male and the female successfully together and live in peace with that
Yeah.
within
Yeah.
the
And
context of whatever sex they are.
exactly, within your sex,
Yeah.
within your expression of gender,
Yes.
there
Yes.
are still these two elements, which, as you say, kind of the yang, that patriarchal push forward, do, has taken away from the bee.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even reading this book, I mean, occultism, oh, occult. It doesn't mean what we think it means. It
You
means
need
hidden. It
yeah.
means, and these things have had to be hidden for it not to be um, spoiled in a way, to be made something that it's not. So it's in protection of the sacredness of certain things. It has been hidden,
Well,
sadly.
it is the same, it is the hidden teachings. I mean, I'm reading an amazing book at the moment called The Astronomer by Kate Grenville.
Yeah.
And it's set in 1700 and something, and this astronomer is in the is in the Navy, and they've been sent off to explore, well, conquer, inverted commas,
Mm.
Australia.
Yeah.
And they come across the natives, and the natives just go, what are you, who are you? And this arrogance, this King George the Third, who they've never met, says, going, well, I own this now. It's so well written. You can just, the arrogance of the Western, of our patriarchal, God, it was just, it's so well written. She's done it so well. And it's really reminded me of the tragedy that we've inflicted
Yeah.
on in just on communities and languages and cultures
Mm.
that knew
Yeah.
knew and we
Yeah.
didn't, and we
Yeah.
thought we did.
Exactly. And that's where the power comes in, is the power, absolute power corrupts absolutely,
Yeah.
which is really sad.
Well, I think it's going to be really interesting. I don't know if you know, but I'm going to share, I don't know, yes, I'm going to share this,
Mm.
and if it doesn't come through, then I'll pop it up anyway. Um, can I share?
Yeah.
Yes. Can you see this
Yes.
incredible kite
Yeah.
which is forming on
Mm.
the 9th of August? Can you see it?
Oh, wow.
A
Yes.
stunning, beautiful
Yeah.
kite.
And that's on the full moon, the 9th of August.
Yes, absolutely. So this is going to be quite an interesting time,
Mm.
um, because the arrow is kind of, it's being fired by Pluto, and Pluto is right opposite Mercury. So, and then it's making this lovely trines. You've got Mars in Libra.
Mm.
Mars is not comfortable in Libra. It doesn't like it. Mars wants to go out there and be aggressive, and Libra wants to make harmony and
Balance.
love and balance. So so that's going to be, I think, quite interesting. And it's going to be there until September the 22nd. So I think there's going to be stuff around that.
Mm.
But it's trining Uranus again. So I'm going to stop sharing now. I just wanted to show that to you. But I just feel like there's going to be um, this. I think these earthquakes are
Mm.
part of it. I think there is it's Pluto is digging things up, and
Mm.
as the Earth is being thrown up into the air, which is what's
Mm.
happening, I think. And with Uranus in Gemini, I think there's going to be an awful lot of truths coming out of what really has been happening. It's very interesting that the Epstein files are very prominent again at this particular time, and I don't think we've heard the last of that.
No, no.
But I
Well, we
think there's
haven't
going
had
to be
clarity yet, have we?
blackmails, all sorts of stuff coming up, people
Mm.
very, very frightened. And I think there's going to be a lot of instability as well in
Mm.
the in finance. We have to go
Yeah.
back to that. You know,
Yeah.
it's going to be an interesting time. And it's
Mm.
also very interesting that all of this has come up around the time of, discovering what's happening in Egypt, and especially what's happening underneath the Sphinx. They think could be a library. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Again, this all has to be verified, but there's something definitely happening about that. And I
Mm.
think the other thing is that everything has it. I think I've been writing a lot recently about the cycles, the great cycles, and
Yeah.
everything has its time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everything, there's a seed moment, and then you build up, you walk up the hill, and at some point there is a completion, a time of reckoning, and then you
Yeah.
start walking back down the hill back to
Yeah.
create the new seed moment. And
Mm.
so everything has its peak, everything has its time,
Mm.
and I think we're witnessing that peaking.
Yeah. Well, it's back to the old teachings, the principle of rhythm. There's a pendulum kind of swing, and
Absolutely.
it moves, and then the principle of cause and effect,
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
brings out that
Yeah.
beautiful saying of Hermes is, as above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul, which brings to forefront the fact that the unknown is known as well, because we can deduct that there are patterns.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. I think it's 100%. I think we forget there is a pattern and a rhythm.
Yes, yes,
And every person in life will have a moment. They'll reach a peak. It doesn't matter who you are, where things will come together, and then you'll go, oh, and
yeah,
then you think, oh, this is it. But no, it'll start to wane. The cycle will start to wane, to start
yeah,
to drop off. And that's the time of reflection, of going into yourself,
mm,
of really addressing things that might not have worked,
yeah,
looking at what legacy might mean to you, and that kind of vibe. And I think the trouble is that we live in this mad world with the foot firmly on the accelerator, and to draw back from that, to say, no, actually, this is my time of waning, of resting,
yeah.
of reflection. You think, well, you're nuts. What do you mean? What are you doing? Nothing. But of course, it's a very busy time.
Mm.
Very,
Well, exactly. Being is doing. I think there's someone said that
yes,
before.
in a way, yes. But it is
Yeah,
about what doesn't work for me now as I move into this next cycle.
exactly. Exactly. And to be aware, to do it consciously, not
Yes,
to be thrown into it and kind of, and I think that's the part that reflects mastery in
yes.
consciously, doing things. There's a beautiful quote from this book. I keep going back to it, but he also talks about the ears of wisdom are only open, no, the lips of wisdom only open to the ears of understanding, which is so beautiful. And it also implies that you don't have to understand or, take in everything or, be this wonderfully masterful being. It's all a process. It's in the experience of being human.
100%, but we don't know, we've forgotten that.
Yeah,
I think we need to talk about the moons because they're really pretty powerful moons. We've got the new moon on the 9th of August, which is in Aquarius.
the full
Now,
moon.
Aquarius, yeah, full moon in Aquarius. So that means the sun is in Leo, obviously,
Yeah,
and then it's it's caught up with this beautiful kite, uh,
yeah,
with this very strong drive from Pluto. And Aquarius moons are very detached. If you have an Aquarius moon in your chart, there is this sense of detachment, but very, very attuned to the collective, to
mm,
how can we make this world a better place. And that's more important than my needs.
yeah,
And so I would, so with this very strong moon in Aquarius, it's very technologically driven, it's very future orientated. But I just feel like this, that there may be with this kite, some kind of reality check about truth. Aquarius is about universal truth.
yeah,
Scorpio is about my truth, the inward, mine.
mm,
Aquarius is about the collective. So I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of that. And I think we're going to have to understand how to become more objective with what we're seeing. And again, I bang on about this all the time, is do not believe what everything you're being told or you're watching. You honestly don't know what's true or not. And
no,
it's really, it's your responsibility to do that check. If you start getting obsessive about something, then that's a key.
mm,
That might not
yeah,
be true. You might have been sucked in.
yeah. And I mean, there's so much scope to go with
Oh God,
there's
yeah. Be very
everywhere.
careful.
It's
Yeah,
very,
yeah, absolutely. And people are so addicted to the news now.
mm,
The disaster. And it isn't a disaster. What's happening is a natural organic process.
yeah,
Something's peaked.
yeah,
And the process is that we're now, the waning side of the cycle before we start again. So
yeah,
I don't believe in this sudden jump into the fifth dimension. I think we've got a huge letting go, releasing process to happen first.
mm,
And then we'll see when the new seed moment happens again. We'll see what happens there. So
yeah,
I think it is this moon will be very much inviting us to be much more objective, but with the collective, with humanity in mind.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
think to be to from I think what's happening in Gaza is such a symbol of this,
yeah,
such a symbol of it. So
yeah.
that's that moon. Yeah, yes, I think that's
And and then we go new moon on, but there's a little bit happening in between. Mercury goes direct on the 11th of August.
yes, it certainly does. Let me just
Yeah,
get the notes here. Yes, it certainly does, absolutely. But I think the big thing for me is Mars moving into Libra.
yeah,
Mars fights for things, and
yeah,
so there can be a lot of disruption in relationships, or
mm,
if you're, or Mars can fight
relation,
for,
yeah.
they make very, very aggressive diplomats. And there's a lot of diplomatic stuff going on at the moment, obviously,
Yeah,
all over
yeah,
the shop, as we know.
yeah,
But I just think it's very the, I think how we relate in relationships generally is going to be highlighted too. And
yeah,
just be very careful if you're in a volatile relationship anyway. Just
mm,
be extra vigilant that if things start escalating, that you have somewhere safe to go.
yeah. And this is happening on the 6th of August. Mars
That
and
happens on, and it goes in there till so it's September 2022nd. So
okay.
it's a good whack. It's a good time.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be very influential, actually,
Mm.
because that Mars creates this beautiful kite.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it creates an arm of the kite. So that that tension is within the kite, and then obviously it's trining Pluto, and
Mm.
Pluto and Mars obviously work together. Mars
Yeah.
is about my survival, and Pluto is about universal survival. So there's something definitely going on there, and everything trining Uranus.
Unexpected. So
Yeah, so that I just think there's going to be revelations.
yeah.
That's
And
how.
and there's so much that we don't know. So it could go
Yeah.
anyway.
But,
Um,
I think we do know, don't we?
yeah.
We don't know all the
We
rubbish.
don't know,
We know the truth.
cognitively, but we do know, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
So
we
I think,
remember, I suppose.
yeah, I think that's really interesting. Now, there could be, we don't know, but it could be that there could some kind of um, nuclear technology might make itself
Mhm.
known. Let's hope not. So I think that's going to be really interesting. Um, there could be something to do with that in August. Pluto, Uranus, Mars,
Mm,
even if
we
they're
don't need
fine,
more of that. We don't need more.
we know we don't,
Yeah,
but it's definitely whatever that there is this sense of global transformation ongoing.
yeah.
And it will
Mm,
involve advanced technology. It will, with
yeah,
Uranus in Gemini.
yeah.
That's for the next 7 years. I
Which could be a good thing. I mean, but then looking at Mars and
yeah,
Pluto, we, yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It could be. Let's hope it is. And off, yes, yes. Let's just hope it is.
yeah.
Um, so let me just have a look here. It could be this full moon in Aquarius. Aquarius is quirky. It's very
Mm,
rebellious as well. It
yeah.
doesn't like being told what to do. Try telling Aquarian what to do. You
No,
know,
I know.
doesn't like that. So I think there could be confrontations, and I think this could be some kind of turning point, because also involved with all of this, Mars is right opposite the conjunction between Saturn and Neptune. So
Mm,
we've got it's absolutely tight as anything on that full moon. So
yeah.
I don't know, here we have, and they're going retrograde, so they're sort of going
Inward.
inward.
Mm,
Um, we'll have to wait and see, but Neptune is dissolving what uh, Saturn wants to create. So there is this sense of chaos of, hang on
mm,
a minute, oh my God, it's just, oh, hang on, we're making, oh no, it's collapsing again. So
yeah.
I think that's going to be a lot of uncertainty, and that's being triggered. That's really triggered by Mars in
Yeah.
Libra. So
Yeah.
it's to do also, that's the relationship um, opposition,
Mm,
Libra and Aries. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But this is a very unsettling time.
yeah. And sorry, I'm going to throw this in here quickly.
Yeah,
Just
go for it.
Venus is entering Cancer today
Yeah,
as well,
yeah,
31st of July.
that's
And,
right.
and Venus has also got a little bit of that, you know, relationship or love or, element to it.
What she has, but what's so beautiful, this is where astrology kind of counteracts itself. So you've got a lot of tension going on, but then
Mm,
you've got Venus sitting beside Jupiter.
yeah.
Now, if you've got that in your chart, you're
Mm,
blessed. You're
yeah.
probably blessed with love.
Yeah.
Jupiter loves. Venus. They love each other.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and if Jupiter comes onto your Venus or joins your Venus, then that's often can be a relationship coming into your life, often
Mm,
expanding love. At the so these two, they're going to be in Cancer, coming together in Cancer, and Cancer is all about home. It's about safety,
yeah.
belonging. So it's very possible, if it's in your fifth house, it meets up. That could be a love affair. If it's your seventh,
Mm,
it meets up. It could be a relationship, a partnership. If it's your eighth, there could be something here about in real deep intimacy.
mm,
So, or transformation experience to do with love or intimacy or something like that. And
yeah.
that's all happening as it's swirling around in this tension.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
So yeah, it's nice. It brings
Yeah,
that balance as
yeah,
such, or polarity, kind of
yeah,
everything has two sides, and they're not always detached.
yeah. But what they are providing us with, I suppose, if you like, is kind of a bit of shelter from the storm. I
Yeah.
think that's it's
Yeah.
Cancer, home,
Yeah.
belonging, safety.
Mm,
And there's Jupiter and Venus love, really bringing
yeah.
that energy, that loving energy in. So
Mm,
I'm interested about that. That's
yeah.
optimistic.
Yeah.
Then we've got August the 22nd, the sun moves into good old Virgo. The time of the sea, it's harvest season, but the
Yeah.
poor old farmers, my God, I just don't know how they get up in the morning and carry on at the moment.
Oh, no, it's not an easy life.
It's not, and anybody think, oh, jolly fat farmer.
Mm,
No, they maybe it was in the old days, but it certainly isn't now. So
mm,
I feel I will, pay homage to the farmers, and the fact
yeah.
they're still out there doing what they need to do to put food on the table. Uh,
Exactly.
and then we've got the so yes, so uh, the Virgo, the harvest season, is that's the marking really.
Yeah.
It's the waning part of the year now, where we peaked at in June, so
Yeah.
naturally in the waning side of the cycle. So it's the descent in the underworld, if you like, for
Yeah.
the season.
Mm,
So Virgo is mutable earth. She
mm,
likes sorting stuff out, creating order out of chaos, and she wants to scrutinize things. So there's a lot of that goes on. So it's this sort of clearing things up, getting
mm,
ready for the winter, the,
yeah.
the period of winter. So we're already feeling that naturally, that cycle kicking in. And a lot of us get very melancholic around this time of year because we know, well, we can feel it, the light is beginning to fade in the evenings. So,
Mm,
yes, so it's going to be interesting. And mutable signs are at so you have the cardinal signs, which the go-getty signs, they're the first.
yeah.
That's the first of the first of the four seasons. Then you
Yeah.
have the fixed signs, which are let's get down and do this, and resilience. And then
Mm,
you get the mutables, which are about the letting go, the being more adaptable,
mm,
dealing what needs to be done.
yeah.
Yes, so it's going to be interesting about that. And then we have the new moon. We've got the moon in Virgo.
That's
And I
it.
think this is setting up this very potent eclipse on the 29th of September.
Mm, yeah.
So it's at the 29 degrees Virgo that the eclipse is. So I
Yeah.
think there is this very this is it's at this new moon is at 0 degrees.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be it's a new anything at 0 degrees is a new beginning. Anything. So I think it's kind of hmm, it's an interesting one because it creates a yod which is kind of like a finger of God, between Pluto and there's a sextile between Pluto, Neptune, and Saturn, and the yod goes to the new moon. So there is a destiny, some kind of destiny involved in this, to do with the Virgo energy, and the Virgo is Earth.
Yeah.
She is the, you know, the she's this sense of series, caring
Mm.
for the Earth. So there's going to be something on the collective is going to kick off then. I don't know what it is. It's on, and this new moon is on the 23rd of August. We'll have to find out what that is.
Yeah.
So yes, it's a yes, she's going to kick something off at new beginnings, because all
Okay.
the planets that are involved in this yoga are at 0 degrees or 0.01 degree.
Oh, wow.
So yes, it's going, there's something. And a yod is created out of a quincunx, two quincunxes, and a sextile at the bottom, and the two quincunxes to the new moon. And
Mm.
quincunxes are, we need to adapt. There's a sort of faint unease. So
Mm.
we're going to have to adapt to something Virgoan, and maybe it is about, we really need to start finding ways to create order out of this chaos that we're experiencing, or perhaps being more discerning, scrutiny, what is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's what's going to come. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to
Well,
wait and
it'll
see.
be interesting.
Yeah,
And then just after that, Venus goes into Leo, um, on 25th of August.
yeah, she loves being in Leo.
Yeah.
She
So she brings us a lot of, I think, positive hope, you know. Exactly.
just worship me and I'm fine. Just I'm just going to sit on my throne and just have a lovely time. No, she's great in Leo. Anybody
Yeah.
who's got a Leo Venus really knows how to turn the charm on. I wasn't born with that, but were you? No. No. So yes, so all the babies being born with Leo, when she's in Leo, going to have a
Yeah.
lovely time as they grow up. Yeah, yeah, they will be expected to be adored.
Yeah, and it doesn't always go that way, sadly.
No, but yeah,
Yeah.
they'll draw it to them, that is for sure. So,
Mm.
and then on the 29th of August, there's this exact sextile between Uranus and uh, Neptune. So this is going to be really interesting because I think they came together first in 1993. And so I kind of feel like, so Neptune is visionary, and
Yeah.
Uranus is sudden insights or technology. So I wonder, I think could be a massive spiritual awakening. It could be
Yeah.
sudden. Oh
Yeah.
my God, I see the light.
Mm.
Let's hope. But also this sort of sense of technology, sudden, maybe coming from a different place.
Mm.
Uh, Uranus could be, space. The dreaded words UFOs,
Yeah.
anything that kind of
Yeah.
technology. But but there is this sense of a profound spirituality being brought to that. On
Mm.
the other hand, there can be more delusion.
Yeah.
To remember, that's the more negative
Yeah.
side of
Neptune.
yeah. But what the conjunction between Saturn and Neptune does, Saturn wants to be solidly placed. So
Mm.
this isn't idealistic, it's much more to do with which Neptune can be. So
Mm.
it's about structure. And I've said for ages and ages, I feel like when Neptune and Saturn finally settle properly into Aries next year, I
Yeah.
think there will be a radical spirituality that starts coming out. But we have to
Mm.
be very careful of false gurus.
Yeah.
Too.
Always, always.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. And of course, we haven't mentioned the dreaded AI. I think that's
Yeah.
going to explode.
Yeah. There's so much responsibility, I just feel, to say that we need to take within this AI explosion because it's a great tool. It really is. But
Yes, I agree.
um, we do need to be using it consciously.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. So I
Mm.
just think, we're just being thrown back onto ourselves
Yeah.
about what am I drawn to? What do I get hooked into? What do
Mm.
I obsess over? Is that healthy or not? Is this for, and there's so many ways you to say this, but is this for my highest good?
Yeah. Well, exactly.
Yeah.
And me being part of the collective, um,
Yeah,
we have the Ubuntu concept in South Africa, or coming from South Africa, and that is I am because we are. So
yes,
um, that is also still playing a big role in because what we do affects that zeitgeist. So we
absolutely.
need to be aware.
Absolutely. But I do think the backdrop of all of that, I think there's going to be huge scientific shifts. I
Yeah.
do. Or
Yeah.
explosion, not shifts, explosions,
Mm.
which I think are probably in process at the moment. And I think the other really interesting thing is how um, uh, m- uh, 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 plant medicine is becoming really present in a lot of people's lives. They're not trusting the old
Yeah.
the old NHS methods, if you like.
Yeah.
So I think innovations in healing, health,
Mm.
Virgos might well be kicking that off because she is about healing and health. That could certainly happen.
Yeah.
Innovation and the good old mushrooms are doing their work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of people are getting increasingly involved with that, and a lot of
Mm.
people training to be sitters or to
Mm.
be therapists,
Yeah.
integration therapists. It's still illegal in this country, so be careful. But I do think that will come, and maybe astrology will become even more present in people's lives, but to do it responsibly.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
if you've got an app on your phone and that's not astrology
Yeah.
for
No.
me. That's me being really old fashioned, but you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
astrology is not about an app. But yes, it is because we live in a world that's full of AI and apps.
Yeah.
So
But
I'm
if you don't have the knowledge, then it's difficult to discern whether it
yes,
is the truth that you are making your own. And that's part of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Yes.
Where strap yourself in, chaps. We're on that roller coaster. Woohoo!
That's for sure. And we're just going into this time that has been talked about for, I don't know, many, many years, even maybe centuries. Um,
Centuries,
yeah,
centuries. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So it's terribly exciting and really scary all at the same time.
exactly. But we're all in it together, so
Yes, exactly.
that is
Yeah,
a good thing in that
exactly.
aspect.
And can I just remind everyone that actually, really, what we've been talking about, I'm running this 7-week course for the Shift Network. It starts at the end of September, and I'm going to be sending out a newsletter about how to sign up for it. But it really does explain how astrology works. So from looking at very much based on the teaching of Hermes Trismegistus, but right through looking at the whole concept of reincarnation, the soul's purpose. We're looking at the cycles, the great cycles of life and death, and also I'm looking at astrology and alchemy and how to bring that into your life, and also how astrology plays a very important part in the dying process. So I'm really
Very,
excited by
yeah.
it.
And I think the doors to that open, or you can start signing up around the 25th of August,
Yes,
if I'm
yeah,
not mistaken.
yeah,
So that's
yeah,
going to be
yeah,
really good.
yeah. Righty ho, and we'll see each other in September.
We will. What is going on? It's so quick, the cycles. But we will see each other then. Thank you, Sue.
Oh, it's just been a pleasure.